again. Yeah, straight out the fucking dungeons of rap. But fake niggas don't make it back. I don't know how to start this shit. No. Rappers are monkey flipping with the funky rhythm I be kicking. Musician, inflicting composition of pain. I'm like Scarface, sniffing cocaine, holding an M16. See with the pen, I'm extreme. Now, bullet holes left in my peep holes. I'm suited up with street clothes. Hand me a 9 and out the feet froze. Y'all know my stilo, with or without the airplay. I keep some E and J, sitting bent up in the stairway, or either on the corner betting grants with the CeeLo champs. Laugh at the bass heads, trying to sell some broken amps. G-Packs get off quick forever.
Welcome to another episode of the Hospitality Room. We are here with you tonight, and we are happy to be here. It is April the 19th, 2023. Is another episode of the Hospitality Room, episode 123. Pretty happy to be here. I know we've another brief hiatus, I would say, maybe.
A little bit.
I believe so. Not too much, but we are here with you all, episode 123. Always with me, we have the lovely
Tia.
How you doing,
You're good, man. How you doing?
Great, man. Happy to be back with you tonight, man. I know we've been normally when we're here, man, we usually got we're closed in, we got the door closed. Today we actually got it up, so we got the night air coming in, hitting us.
Feeling good.
It seems to be a good night. Man, first thing first as always, man. Weekend recap, man. Let's get into it. You want me to start or you want to start?
You can.
This past weekend was the end of spring break. I would say a week recap. It would be.
We were a week off, first of all.
Yeah.
With everybody else, so it was kind of weird.
Yeah, so we didn't do last week. I think we took a spring break.
I think we did too. Go ahead, sorry.
But yeah, so my kids were out of town the entire week. My parents took my kids to visit my sisters. My older sister lives in Atlanta. Shout out to Lori. They went to see their TT, so they stayed maybe 3 or 4 days in Atlanta, and then they came back and went to Indianapolis. So they went from Atlanta to Indianapolis. And the whole time I just got to be home. When there's no kids, it's pretty quiet in the house. I know you know what I mean, but
oh yeah,
when there's no kids in the house, it's pretty quiet, man. So I got a lot of time to catch up with my Netflix and coaching. That was pretty much it, man. So this past weekend we had a track meet. Thank God none of these meets wasn't canceled. Had a meet. It went pretty good. Was didn't have a lot of our athletes because they were on spring break, but we still did pretty good. Came home and barbecue, man. You already know. I got to get on the grill, man.
What'd you have?
I don't know, man. I barbecued like 3 times this weekend. Oh, twice this weekend. So I did steaks. When I got back from the track meet, I did steaks.
Yeah.
And the next day I think I did wings. Nah, you came over the next day, didn't you? When did you come over? Man, you came over one of the weekends. We've been gone for a while,
not
man.
This weekend.
Was it last weekend?
It was
I'm mixing up weekends. Yeah.
This weekend would be 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I'm mixing up weekends.
You had wings 2 weeks ago.
I had wings 2 weeks ago. No, I did
If you haven't had Antonio's
chicken.
Wings, y'all are missing out. I'm telling you.
Man, listen, man. Chicken breast or something. I'm always throwing something on the grill, man. So we had steak. I did a medium. And then the night before, and then the next day, that's right, I did hamburgers. Zoe wanted a hamburger, Ashton wanted a hot dog, and then I grilled salmon. That's right. Yeah, I've been on a fish kick.
There you go.
Yeah, I did salmon. I put them in aluminum foil, man.
Buttered them up.
Yeah, man, it was pretty good. I put my seasons on there, whatnot, but we had salmon, and the kids had what they wanted. So Zoe wanted a hamburger, and Ashton wanted a hot dog. He ended up eating some of my fish, so it really didn't matter what he wanted because he ended up eating my stuff anyway. So if you got kids, you already know how
Yep.
it is with that, man. You hook your plate up, and next thing you know, your kid be looking at it and like, can I have some of that? Like, yeah. So I mean, we that was pretty much it, man. And, man, I caught up. I'm a huge fan of All American. I don't know if you watch All American. Story about a football player
I haven't seen it.
grows up in Crenshaw, South Crenshaw.
I've seen advertisement before.
Good show, man. So I've watched that whole series, and there's a spinoff. It's called All American Homecoming, and it's about the girl who goes to HBCU, and she ends up meeting a whole new group of friends, a baseball player, a football player. I mean, it's just, and I dig deep in that show, man. I actually finished the whole season yesterday, man. So. But that was it, man. That's what I do my weekend, man. This weekend I'm headed to Tennessee, man, for a track meet. Pretty excited about that. So like to see how we do down there.
Well, good luck with that.
Yeah. So outside of that, man, not much, man. What about you, man? What did you get into?
AAU.
The AAU dad.
Yep, you already know. So back to Muhlenberg County we went, and lost both games on Saturday. The first one was not very good at all. The second one they only lost by 6. So they learned, and they forgot about the first game, put it behind them, and played better the second game. And then Friday night, went out and had a few drinks. Went to Bob's Bar.
Oh man!
Yeah, shout out Rob.
Up there at Bob's Bar, man.
Yep, went to Bob's Bar, had a good time, and ran into you at the gas station.
Oh yeah, you're right, man. I totally forgot about that, man. I was sent to get stuff.
We went and ate at the local sports bar in town.
Good place, man.
Motis.
I love Motis.
Yep, great food.
You can never go wrong in Motis.
Nope. The only thing is, I didn't have any alcoholic beverages there. Yeah.
Oh man.
No, it's in town, man. I ain't trying to get in trouble. But
right, that's 2 minutes down the street from your house. You probably could have walked home.
It's about 3 seconds from DUI. I'm good.
I said you could have walked home.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
No, I'll give what you said.
I don't drink and drive, so I don't really.
Yeah. That's like the bar's right up the street from me. I literally can probably walk to the bar.
Yeah,
if I wanted to.
But I mean,
I'm not that hung up on drinking.
No, I wouldn't have 2. I had 2 or 3 beers at the bar, and I was there for probably an hour and a half or whatever, just hanging out, shooting it. Anyhow, Saturday. So I told you Saturday, Sunday went back to Muhlenberg County. Did we come home? At the end of the day and come home. And we played one game and lost, and turned right around and come back. But we stopped in Owensboro to visit with my aunt and uncle.
Oh, you to Owensboro? Did you get some of that BBQ?
I did.
Where'd you go, man?
Against my better judgment, I went to a place called OLE South.
Never heard of it.
I'm an Old Hickory guy. Through and through. I don't do Moonlight unless I want a buffet.
Man, Moonlight's the spot, man.
No, that's a touristy thing. Locals go to Old Hickory. So with family there, and basically spending every weekend in Owensboro growing up, it's kind of like a second home to me.
Yeah.
So I'm a local. So locals go to Old Hickory. But anyhow, for the majority of that. But anyhow,
I never know that, man.
Yep, Old Hickory.
I was always told, shout out to Coach Jackson. He was always telling me to go to Moonlight.
I mean, it's
every time I've been there, I've been to
it's
Moonlight.
not bad, but
it's all right. It's a good barbecue buffet.
They have a buffet.
Yeah.
So Old South had a buffet too, and it tasted. I was like, something's not right. Something's not right. And I get home, man. I wake up about 3 o'clock in the morning, man. I puked.
Oh man.
Yeah. So I was sick.
The food poisoning?
Yeah, I think so. Or stomach bug. I don't know.
Yeah,
let's hope
it was a stomach.
Yeah,
bug.
for sure. All I know is I don't have the desire to have mutton for a long time, if ever.
I was never a big fan of mutton,
Man,
but there's some good mutton though.
the last time this happened, it was at Popeyes, yo, and I had some chicken tenders.
I think I had the first time. Ironically, you know where the first place I've ever tried mutton?
Where?
Moonlight.
Yeah, me too.
That's the first time I've ever tried.
When I was a
mutton.
kid,
It
yeah,
was-
me
it was
too.
at Moonlight Barbecue.
The only reason why I
I
did
had
that
to
is
Google it because I didn't know what mutton was.
yeah, it's lamb
Yeah, I was like,
or
"What
sheep, whatever.
is a mutton?"
Hey, but you know what though? I my very first time eating mutton was at Moonlight too. But
It was actually pretty good.
It was because Old Hickory was closed.
But I'm not gonna lie to you. It was actually good. My first,
No, it's good, man.
My first mutton experience was actually.
It ain't no good coming up. Let me
I was
tell you.
like, yo, this is pretty good, man. I need to get me a lamb.
Hey,
I need to raise me a lamb.
it ain't no good coming up. Let me tell you.
Oh, you used to eat it a lot.
Man, it ain't no good coming up.
Oh, you talking about I thought you
Yeah,
meant like
no,
growing
no,
up. Oh,
no.
my bad.
No, growing up it was great.
Yeah,
Coming up, it ain't no good.
I
So
was-
I'm like, the last time this happened with my illness, something like this with a restaurant, was with Popeyes back in 2013. I ain't had chicken strips and Popeyes in 10 years.
I love
So I'm
Popeyes.
telling you right now, I'm not gonna have
I
mutton no
like
more.
Popeyes.
But yeah, I was
Right.
off Monday.
I like Bojangles too.
Overrated.
You're not a Bojangles fan? I
I-
like. The
I
rice,
used to
man.
be.
I like the spice. I like the rice.
I used to be when they was in Louisville before
They closed it down? Yeah.
Yeah. Back when we was kids. And then they brought it back.
That Bojangles was good
They're on Dixie.
when we were growing up.
There was one on Dixie Highway, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know about the new Bojangles.
No, I don't know about
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
The one that had Radcliffe wasn't worth crap.
No. In fact, it didn't taste nothing like the Bojangles in Louisville.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
White Castles taste different up there too.
You know what? You're right.
I'm telling
Because the
you.
White Castles in E-Town does not taste like the White Castles
Nope.
in Louisville. I don't know.
I'm
Is it
telling
the
you.
way they're making the burgers or
It's
what
got to
is
be
it,
the
man?
water, man. Because White Castles are cooked on a bed of onions that are dehydrated.
Yeah.
They rehydrate them with water, so it's got to be that Louisville water. Which Louisville has some of the best tasting water in the country, believe it or not.
Okay, well, I
That's
gotta
not
go
me
with-
saying it. That's
No,
actual
I believe you, man.
competitions.
I just you're right though. The food at White Castles in Louisville definitely tastes better than E-Town.
Yo, it used to be a
That's for sure.
treat to get up there as a kid, man. And
Wow, that's like
stop
Indies.
on the way home, get some White Castles.
That's like Indies. Indies in Louisville is
man.
outstanding. But I will tell
If you don't know
this,
Indies, you need to go find out.
the best Indies is the one off Broadway, man.
That's true.
It's the best Indies. Not all the Indies down there are great, but
The one on-
the majority of them are pretty good.
One on
But
Broadway is the best one.
one on Broadway is the best one, man. And then after that, I believe there's one on where is it? Not Poppy Lever Road. Which road is it? Fern Creek. There's one off of Fern Creek that's pretty. That's
I know there's
solid.
one on Cane Run.
How's that one?
Hmm.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't think I've ever been to that one,
Yeah.
but
It
man.
ain't Broadway.
Nah, nothing beats Broadway. If you guys are ever in Louisville, the people that listen to us that are not from Kentucky, if you're ever in Kentucky and you're in Louisville, go to Indies.
I'm gonna look up the address so I can get it right
Go
now.
to Indies in Louisville. It is outstanding. Now it may look a little different, all right, on the outside,
But go inside.
and when you go in, your taste buds are in for a boxing match.
It's at 1033 West Broadway in Louisville.
Telling y'all,
Worth the trip.
you're welcome. All right, I'm gonna leave it at that. It's not too many chicken places I would eat, but that's one of them.
Indies is
Yeah.
one of them.
Have you ever been to George's Hot Chicken down there?
No,
It's all right.
I have to go.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get Nashville hot chicken in Nashville. I haven't done that yet.
I have. It's pretty good. Well, I think I talked about it on the show. We went back and forth on because before I went down there, they were like trying to tell me which one I should go to. Was it Hattie B's or what's the other one? I can't remember the name of the other one, but
I don't know much about Nashville except for Broadway.
yeah, man. But yo, definitely want to get into the topics
Yeah,
tonight.
let's do it.
Yeah, man. First thing first, I wanted to start off by talking some veteran talk. I know we don't always get a chance to actually talk about. We do sometimes to talk about different topics of veterans and veteran crisis line and different things like that to help vets. And we've had some light discussions on VA and compensation and different things like that. But the one I was looking at today was top 5 challenges that veterans face today. Did you get a chance to?
That one I did not. Everything else I did read.
So
I'm gonna look it up right now.
it's a pretty good read. But like I definitely wanted to see your opinion about it, what you thought about it, But
Let's see, unemployment.
I'll let you get there. I was man, are you a part of like a couple veterans pages on Facebook,
Mhm.
anything like that? I'm a part of this one, and there's always some discussion on there. Like all the veterans need anytime there's like a real anybody needs some assistance, somebody comes and poses a question, right?
Yep.
It's like, dang man, it's like veterans helping veterans. Nobody really wants to help one. And then people getting questions answered by other people. I think it's like good because we're always helping each other, but it's also like, dang, it's kind of messed up, man, because you're not really getting the information and help that you need for the veterans that get out early and don't retire, or the people that can't stay in and retire early or medically retired, however you guys are out there. But number one, so we're going off of a list. I don't know. Top 5 challenges veterans face today. Unemployment. Many disabled veterans are unable to find solid work. Disability.
Yep.
Some can't work. Some of them can't properly. I was reading this post by today from somebody who's got PTSD with marijuana usage. I had never seen that before.
Oh, they're using cannabis to treat PTSD. Yeah.
But that's the name of their disability. It's like PTSD with cannabis usage. Cannabis and alcohol usage. Have you ever heard of that?
Alcohol. No.
I was wondering
Cannabis,
why did he
yes.
throw the alcohol in there? That's why I was confused. Like, so you telling me that people are drinking?
Drinking.
I didn't know how to decipher that.
Look,
but just going off of the cannabis, I can understand. But there were people in the group message that were like,
yeah,
like cannabis. Like people had the same questions I had. I was like, I didn't even know you can get that. Like, how do you get that? You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, first of all, if you're in Kentucky, is this group for veteran? Was this veteran in Kentucky?
No, it was like a nationwide group.
Okay, well, in Kentucky, Governor Beshear has signed an executive order stating that if you have one of 20, I believe it is, you don't quote me on the number, it's above 15, less than 25 illnesses, that he will not charge you with, the state can't charge you with possession with up to 8 ounces of cannabis.
And this is just a regular person?
Yeah.
Oh.
But you have to have a letter from your doctor saying that you have whatever diagnosed illness, right? You have to have the 8 ounces or less on your person, right? If you're pulled over or something, right? And then you have to have the receipt from the dispensary you bought from.
That's a lot.
Like in
That's
Illinois,
not gonna happen.
Illinois is completely legal, meaning they can have recreational usage and medicinal. Michigan, the same way. People can go to Illinois or Michigan right now and bring it back. Yeah. So, and then nothing can be done.
So basically, with that being said,
but if you're 8.01 ounces, that's you're screwed.
I think they're saying like most of the disabled veterans can't find solid work because of their disabilities. Half of them
head injuries
come back and they need to be on social security disability and they have VA disability. So if you vets are out there having issues, please contact like a social security disability lawyer, a VA lawyer to help you so that they you can understand and get the right payment amount that you're needed, and you can get and find a job receiving on the job training. Or there's a ton of nonprofit groups out there like Hire Heroes. If you guys are familiar with Hire Heroes, go check that website out, and they can actually help you find a job for you veterans.
Lot of head injuries. I don't mean the physical ones though.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
of course.
that's very a big disability that a lot of us have. So
Number 2 would be homelessness, which I see a lot when I go to Louisville. There's a ton of guys with signs
yep.
saying they're veterans. Often sometimes roll the window down and give them some money, but I actually talk with some of them too, man. Like a brief conversation, unless the light's green and I gotta go.
Yeah.
But I actually got a chance to sit and talk to one from maybe because this light was super long, and he had his VA card like up, right? The same VA card I had.
To show he was a veteran.
Yeah, and so I'm like, yo, bro. He said, what's going on? I pulled out my card and I showed it to him. He was like, hey, brother. I said, hey, what's going on, man? When did you serve? And we, went back and forth. And I said, hey, man, you need a ride somewhere? I was like, nah, man, I just really want to, you get like $5 or $10. It's like, yeah, I got $5 or $10, man, but I can give you $5 or $10. Hell, I'll give you 20. But here's my question to you, man. Like, you don't have to be out here, man. There's so many different avenues we can go. There's so many places that like homeless like veterans if you are a homeless vet, you can get help. Somebody will help you find a place to live. There's tons of places that'll help a veteran find a place. The question, and I was like, listen, man, I can take you. Let me take you to the VA. Let me take you to the hospital. I get you checked out, make sure you're good, and then, I'll call, one of the counselors, and they can get you set up with somewhere to stay, man. And he wasn't mad, but he was kind of triggered. You know what I'm saying?
He just wanted his $5.
He just wanted the $5 or $10, man, and he wanted. Lord knows what he wants. He probably want to get some liquor or something,
Just be honest. That's why I was
and I was like, yo,
you want to get high? Do you want to get drunk?
Well,
What is it, man?
asked
What do you
him,
want the money
I said,
for?
listen, man,
That's what I ask people.
He's like, well, nah, man, I just really, I know all that. Well, you holding up a sign, man, and you saying you need help, and I'm a veteran, man, and I don't want to see you out here. If you want me to give you a ride, I'll give you a ride. He's like, yeah, well, can you give me that 20? Yeah, I can give you that 20. I said, I'm gonna give you that 20. I give it to you. So he jumped in the car. A lot of people probably thinking right now, you let somebody jump in your car?
Yeah,
Listen,
I'm one
man,
of those people.
It'd be a cold day of hell for somebody to get an upper hand on me.
I'm just saying.
And as we were riding down the street, I gave him a brief background of me.
Yeah, what you did,
so he knows.
Yep. And tell him the things you did.
Yeah, and so it took him about three minutes to even if he did have something in his head to figure out. I'm just gonna get him to drop me off, and I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. You know what I'm saying?
I'll get the next sucker.
And so I was like, as I was taking him as I ended up taking him to Mickey D's, man, because he wanted to go to McDonald's, and I said, on our way to McDonald's, like, check it out. What are you really gonna use this $20 for? I said, man, don't BS me, man.
He tell you the truth?
What do you really know? I said, because I don't care what you do with the money, man. I just want to help. If you need a ride to the VA hospital, I can take you down. If you need a ride to a shelter, a VA shelter, a home, a place like that, there's numbers you can call, bro. I can help. If you just gonna go to the liquor store and get you a $10 military special, you know what I'm saying? Just say it, man. He was like, nah. He was like, yeah, bro, yeah, brother. I just want to go down here and get me a beer, a couple beers, and maybe a burger. All right, cool, man. That's fine. I'm glad you told me the truth, man. He's like, I really appreciate that. I thought you were gonna put me out the car. No, I'm gonna give you a ride. You a vet. I see your card. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
you service connected. It's on there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's just, I'm like, man, you
don't get that ID unless you got service.
Nah, you gotta be service connected to get that ID.
For sure.
And so I'm like, yo, man, there's so many avenues, man. I said, man, I was telling him right before I dropped him off, you can get you an apartment, you can find you a job, and you can drink as much beer as you want.
Yep.
You ain't gotta be on these streets, man, telling people that you a vet as if there's not places out here to help you. You know what I'm saying? And so reading this article, it was just like, homeless veterans or veterans that are untreated at PTSD can develop alcohol and drug addictions. We're a high risk. Um, and it can lead to deteriorating mental health and homelessness. In other situations, unemployed veterans don't make enough money to pay their mortgage. If they're worried about this situation, they can contact Social Security disability lawyer, the VA, a VA compensation lawyer. Listen, if you guys need help, I'm sure there's probably not any veterans that are homeless listening, but maybe they are. You never know,
I
because this
doubt it.
guy had a cell phone on him, guys, and which kind of threw me off. You know what I'm saying?
That makes me wonder if he really was homeless.
Yeah, I'm
Kind of like
like,
those folks in E Town.
that's why I was just like,
Yeah.
yo, man, tell the truth. He didn't show me he had a cell phone until he was getting out the car.
Yo, you want to hear something that's
You know
true
what I'm
story?
saying? And that's why I was like, hey, that's why I was looked at him like, hey, man, I see you later.
I saw a lady
You know
in
what
E
I'm
Town panhandling.
Yeah.
I swear this is a true story. She was panhandling in front of Kroger, and she held a sign up on my last leg, and she had one leg.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
I had to give her $2 for that one. That was funny.
But you guys, if you are listening, or maybe you guys are listening inside a veteran's home, I'm not really sure, or a place where you're at, or if you know a veteran that's homeless, tell them to go to the National Coalition from Homeless Veterans.
Yep,
that's another good website. Just Google it, guys. National Coalition for Homeless Veterans. They're a nonprofit group dedicated to helping homeless veterans find housing, healthcare, food, and job training.
and go to the VA, make the VA do their job.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Number 3, poor mental health. Unfortunately, suicide is high when it comes to veterans, and depression rates remain high for members of all armed forces. This is part because of the social stigma attached to seeking mental health. A lot of veterans don't want to go to mental health because they feel like everybody's going to think that they have PTSD. But here's the thing: if you do seek help, this leads to a high rate of untreated PTSD in returning veterans. There are some veterans out there that don't know that they have PTSD.
Yep. You'd be surprised how many people that qualify as what you just said.
Absolutely, man. There are some veterans that do not know. I am a
and should not have
huge,
firearms.
Be
honest with you.
Yeah, I'm a huge. I back a lot of veterans. I got buddies that have PTSD, severe PTSD. I have buddies that have mild PTSD. And I'll tell you this: all of them seek mental health providers. Most of my buddies, we served together in multiple combat tours. Went to Iraq, came back, went to Afghanistan. So I mean, most of my guys I do know are doing pretty well. There are some that suffer, and there's a couple that I know that are in Walter Reed. But I will say this: if you do want to seek mental health, guys, please just go see them, call or text the Veteran Crisis Hotline. They're always there for you. They understand specific mental health problems that are faced by veterans, and most of the time, there are a couple of vets that are actually on those hotlines. Not all the time, but there are a few veterans that did get out, go to school, get their degree, and they're on the hotlines that help. My older sister, she works for the VA. She is a therapist, so she's on the hot. Please be kind to the therapists and people that are answering those phones, guys. They're trained professionals. They went to school. That's what they do. My heart goes out to my sister because she tells me all the time. She always calls and checks on me just because she works and she talks to a lot of those guys. I guess she kind of thinks, hey, I wonder how my brother's doing. But I'm always, since my first deployment, she always made sure to call me a lot. I think the reason why my mind stays intact is because I had a family that prayed. I have a sister that's a mental health worker that works in the mental health field. She talked to me multiple times. I seen my doctor, and if I was struggling with something, she would always tell me, "You need to go talk to somebody, or you need to see somebody." I never was somebody that didn't want to take any help. So if there's any guys out there, man, you're strong enough to get help, man, do it. Please do not act like you you're too much of a man or too much of a woman that you can't seek help. Everybody needs help every once in a while.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So please contact the Veterans Crisis Line. Number 4, physical injuries, knees, necks, backs, shoulders. Brothers, I am with you. My shoulder is jacked, knee surgery, so I feel your pain. But there are a couple of physical injuries that leave most veterans unable to work. Mine's is not that difficult. I still work. Um, but this is one of the things that's kind of hard for me to talk about because there's a lot of veterans that actually can't find jobs because of number 4 and number 5. I mean, number 4 and number 3. I don't think,
And 5.
yeah, and number 5. We'll get
Yeah.
to number 5, which is lack of education.
Mm.
But I think the stigma thing. Not all veterans have mental health issues. The majority of them do, but not all of them have mental health issues. I will say this: it is hard to get a job that you truly want if you have been in the military and have been deployed, and not just deployed. If you are a combat veteran between the times of Iraq and Afghanistan, there are some places that will be a little hesitant of hiring you. You know, I think the Korean War vets, Vietnam vets, and all those veterans can attest to that. When they came back, there wasn't a lot of places that wanted to hire because they thought maybe you weren't all together. You know, it has gotten a little better. I'm surprised they let veterans become police officers. You know, most police officers that you try to become a police officer, excuse me, most police departments when you're trying to come one, they find out you're a veteran, they stray away from you a little bit.
Which I'm gonna have to ask you a question about that off air then.
Now I don't understand. There are some that pass the mental eval and different things like that. I don't see a reason why they can't, especially when they just get out and they're fresh. Them are probably the ones that you want versus the ones that've been out about 8-9 years and then become a cop. I don't know if that'll work, but
I'd just love to see the statistics of police shootings.
and how many of them are
Or how many are
veterans?
veterans?
That's a good
I'm
question.
being serious.
No, that is a good question.
That's what I was going to
That's a
ask
great
you
question.
offline, but
Yeah. As I mentioned before, the lack of education. Many veterans join the army right out of high school, which means they didn't have the opportunity to receive any college educations. Have issues like alcohol addiction, untreated PTSD, poor mental health, devastating physical injuries often keep veterans from pursuing higher education. Disabled veterans may also worry that they don't have the money to afford college education.
a lot of that stuff gets overlooked at the MEPS
Yeah,
or missed. You know what I mean?
but also if you guys want a better educational opportunity, there is Voc Rehab. There is an organization that is called Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America that can help you understand your education benefits for the U.S. Army veteran. Please contact them, and they can actually get you help. Just because you've used your post 9/11 doesn't mean that you don't have more education benefits as a disabled veteran. In
I
fact,
lost my GI Bill.
you can get there's more out there for you.
For real?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll talk offline about that.
Yeah, there's more out there for you. So you can get more education. If you use that, there's still stuff for you to continue to go.
Mine expired.
Yeah, it doesn't expire.
Thanks, Trump.
But it depends on what your percentage is.
No, it's depending on the date that you got out.
No. It depends on how much percent you have.
Well, I'm 80%.
Well, then you definitely have more. You just don't
My
you
9/11 is gone.
Yeah, just because the 9/11 gone don't mean you can't get more Voc Rehab. Is what I'm saying. Like you can go to another. There is chapter 31 and there's chapter 33. There's more.
So I can finish my bachelor's.
There's more money out there. Is what I'm saying.
Good.
There's more money out there.
I actually contacted 2 universities last week about going back to school.
Yeah, there's more money out there, man.
Then I discovered my GI Bill's expired.
Yeah, and people probably won't tell you about the other one because they don't want you to go get it. But there are some smart veterans out here that know about these programs, and they will tell you that. I know sergeant majors right now that have gotten out with bachelors and went back and got their masters. I know veterans that use their post 9/11, got their bachelors, and end up getting their PhDs.
Oh, nice.
You know what I'm
There's
saying?
enough for me to go back and get my bachelor's.
Yeah.
Then.
You know, so
Halfway there.
anybody that doesn't understand that, man, you got to go out there and you can find it. That's why I'm like, if these are the top 5, I slightly agree. Slightly. Like, but there's more challenges that are facing veterans today.
For sure. Where's substance abuse?
And that's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not even it's not really on here, you know.
That's a decent list, but I think it could be
it's
better.
a solid list, but it's not. If this is the top 5, they need to go back and redo this list.
Yep, because definitely substance abuse.
That's correct, man. There's all types of stuff, man. Like, there's guys that have, you know, like you said, substance abuse problem. There's guys that have, they're impotent. You know, there's a ton of stuff that are and they don't even know why.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And so I think that one of the big things that I hate hearing is that veterans don't get jobs because they're veterans. Like, I remember when I first started.
I disagree with that.
When I first started putting in for jobs to become a government employee, right? And I was like, man, I'm never gonna get hired because everywhere you go, like, it's almost against you if you say you've been deployed. Sometimes I don't even like saying I've been deployed, because as soon as people say, hey, you been to Iraq? Yeah. How long you been there? I was there 15 months. People make the face like, oh, 15 months. Like, hey, where are you working? You know what I'm saying?
I think when you told me 15 months, I said, damn.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing, but I was a veteran though. So
like, so it's like, and then what about your second one? I was just over there for a year that time. You know what I'm saying? Like, or flip it. Sometimes I get it flipped. It's either one's 15, one's 12. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, but when you tell people that, their whole demeanor changes, man. It's like, man, is he crazy? Is something wrong with him? Like, it's always that what's wrong with him thing. You know what I'm saying?
Nothing.
Like, nothing. What's wrong with me? I'm
Nothing.
good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm chilling. Like, what's wrong with you?
What's wrong is at the time is I don't have a job yet. That's what's wrong.
Yeah, man. And it was crazy, man. I got stories about jobs when I first got out. I was putting in for jobs and I just couldn't get a job.
That was me.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just like, dude, like, I didn't been across these waters. I didn't serve my country, man. Like, what do I have to do to find a job? You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, it happens, man. It really does, man. There is a stigma. There is something that sometimes places won't hire you if you're a veteran.
Wait till you come across somebody that hates veterans.
Yeah, man.
Regardless if you were in combat or not. It just hates the uniform. Yo.
Weird, man. Weird.
Hey, you're welcome for the freedom to hate me.
Yeah, yeah. But just moving forward. But it's one of those things that that I want to talk about. I don't know, man. Do you want to go straight to sports, or you want to talk about the expectations of men and women?
Let's go to sports.
Yeah,
I'm so proud of Sacramento Kings. They finally did it.
Are you talking about the two? Are they 2-0?
They are 2-0. Not only did they got their first playoff win.
Shout out to my main man, Monk and De'Aaron Fox, man. Come on, man.
2006.
If you guys dislike those two guys, you're a hater.
I disliked them when they were in Lexington.
Oh, they were ballers in Lexington too. But I mean,
when they're in the league, though, it's a totally different story.
They're doing great, man. I'm proud of them both, man. I'm happy to see them. I'm always happy when the NBA Wildcats are playing. All right. There's so many of them,
Listen to him. Just like in the NFL, I totally get it. You know what I mean? So many Crimson Tide players.
So many of them, man. I can't pinpoint them all. But I will say this, man.
First rounders, I get it.
They played a hell of a game, man. Like, when I see a lot of people are surprised, man, that they're beating Golden State. I in fact, am not, because once you get De'Aaron Fox going and once you get Monk going,
Yep.
Monk is a streaky shooter, but once you
Correct.
get Monk going,
Exactly.
that's red hot. He can knock
Yeah.
down threes back to back to back, man. You know what I'm
And
saying?
this is not your Golden State team of yesteryear.
No.
They're old. They're aging.
They are aging. It's almost time to blow that thing up, man.
Yep.
It's almost
hey,
time to blow it up.
Jerry Reinsdorf knew when it was time to separate the Bulls. So
It's almost time, man. He's got to. He's first and foremost, he's got to get rid of Draymond. I am a Draymond Green fan.
me too. I'm questioning why you're saying this.
I think he's a great guy, but I think that the way where the game is going, how to use Draymond on Golden State.
Well, put him on the elbow, let him talk.
Yeah, but what position is he playing?
He's kind of like a 3-4.
Yeah, you hear what you just said?
Yeah,
he's kind of like a 3-4.
Yeah,
All right, he's not quick enough to guard a 3.
that's correct. But he's
Right.
got a shot like a 3, though.
No, he does. I give you that.
know?
He's not quick enough to guard a 3, and sometimes he's undersized for a 4.
Correct.
All right, so
He's a hybrid.
he gets exposed a lot when he's playing
That's why he talks.
top tier caliber teams and with top tier caliber players. You know what I'm saying?
That's why he has to talk.
I
That's
get
why
it,
he has
man.
to talk.
He's a competitor. I love him. That's why I
for
said
sure.
I am a fan of his.
I liked
but
him in college, man.
he was let me
A beast.
tell you, he is a supreme athlete.
No doubt.
But like you said, he is aging. I seen him the other day. His chin looks like mine. Salt and pepper everywhere. He getting older.
Yep.
He just
It
getting
happens.
older, man. It happens, man. It happens. Just
Father time is not nice to anybody.
no,
right?
it's not, man.
It's cruel to everybody.
He had his hand on my shoulder the other day. Like, hey, where are you going? Wait, what are you about to do? Hey, man, get off that bike, man. You know what I'm saying?
The Kings, though, the Kings are up 2-0. I think they're going to
Proud of
sweep.
him, man.
They're gonna sweep.
I can't say that.
If
I
they don't,
can't say that. Man.
if they don't, Golden State gets one.
I'd say that. They're gonna get 1 or 2. Man, you got Steph, man. Steph's one of the greatest shooters of all time, if not the best shooter of all time.
True. Getting old, though.
He is getting old, but he can still hit the 3 from the back of the parking lot.
No,
You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you, but
So I will give you 1 or 2 games.
but this Phoenix Clippers all knotted up.
Yeah, man. I would say this. At first I thought Phoenix was gonna roll through the Clippers, but that is not the case, man.
Nope. I'm telling you, this is Westbrook's time to shine.
This is not that's
To
not
win a
the
title.
case. I believe that the Clippers are strong, they're healthy. It looks solid, man. You know what the game that people aren't watching is, I think that's the Bucks and the Heat. And my man Hero went out with a broken hand. I feel bad for him. He's another Kentucky NBA Wildcat. But I feel bad for him, man, because I feel like he's a budding star. He's right on that verge of being a star. But I think the Heat can beat the Bucks. It's gonna be a good series. Man, how you feeling about this Lakers series?
With Memphis,
Yeah, man, that's what I really want.
Memphis is about to win one. I think.
You think they're about to win?
They're up 8 right now, 4.5 left in the fourth. Memphis is.
Oh,
I
you
think
talking about the game tonight?
they're playing right now.
Oh, yeah, they are playing right now.
I think that Memphis
How
is
much,
going to
how
win.
much time's left?
4:03. It just refreshed. It's 92-84 Memphis.
Yeah, they'll probably win this.
Yeah, I think Memphis is going to win the series.
I won't. I can't say that.
Look, the Lakers.
Especially if Ja's halfway injured right now, so it depends on his health.
If the Lakers win this series, that's the only series they're going to win. They're not going to win the next
The
one.
Lakers are a surprise team, man. I will say that.
I'm surprised by them.
This Timberwolves Nuggets series.
I think
I
Minnesota
really-
comes back and wins that one.
I
in
think
6.
the Nuggets win the series. The Knicks and the Cavs. The Cavs have been beaten up on. But then did the Knicks win one the other day?
They won. Yep.
Yeah, I don't. To me, that's a tough series, man. I think that's a toss up, man. Randall's playing
is.
good. He's got some help over there, man. My man Emmanuel Quickly, another University of Kentucky
Here we go.
NBA Wildcat. But I, in all seriousness, man, and Julius Randle, another NBA Kentucky Wildcat NBA player. Now, he's playing lights out, man. Between Randle Quickly, and then they got a Toppin, which is not Jacob Toppin, the Kentucky player, his older brother Obi. The Knicks are put together very well.
Don't forget about RJ Barrett.
Man, RJ Barrett's been playing like doggy doo doo.
14 points the other night.
Doo doo. He should be better than 14. He's better than 14 points. He's given me low. No, he's been giving low numbers, man. For the name that he has and people that thought you're talking about he's supposed to be a 20-point night guy. 20 and 10 guy.
It's hard to do in the NBA though.
Not if you're RJ. I mean, not if you're Barrett, right?
No, it's hard to do unless you're
Listen, man.
like Durant.
Everybody else is doing it. Not everybody else, but you get what I'm saying.
I know.
The players that come out of college they're holding on to that their talent very well.
What's the shame Phoenix gonna lose this series to the Clippers?
I'd be surprised at that. I'm looking at the Boston Atlanta.
That's
series.
done. That's why I didn't even talk about it. It's done.
The Celtics are playing so good. I feel super bad for Trey, man.
Yep.
But yeah, they
We're
definitely up. Philly and the Brooklyn Nets. That's done too. Sixers up 2-0.
Yep.
They got one more game. It's a wrap.
Warriors is. I still think that's a wrap. I think that's a sweep.
I'll be interested in seeing that.
That's sweet.
If they win one more, I'll be super. You wouldn't be surprised?
If the Warriors won another,
No, I mean if Sacramento wins another.
would I be surprised?
Yeah.
No, Sacramento's good.
Yeah, man.
Sacramento's
I
legit.
With a team with Steph and Clay, man, I just can't say. I can't put a whole.
They're aged, man.
I know they are, but they still can shoot.
But
man.
you're thinking yesteryear, though, Antonio.
Probably
You are,
am.
man.
I probably am.
But
It's probably because I'm yesteryear.
ain't nothing wrong with that. being nostalgic. Hey, man. But I think that if they win, it's going to be 1, maybe 2 games. The Kings win it.
Okay. I'm surprised at that, but okay.
I'll take that. I'll go. Man, let's go to the sports book. Put some money on that.
We do need to go to sportsbook, man. Hey, which talking about sportsbook. Hey, this weekend, guys. I don't mean to change the subject.
Oh, that's okay.
now. This weekend, we
Fight.
get Tank Davis, which is Ryan Garcia, in one of the most exciting boxing matches. All right. I am super hyped for this fight, man. Gervonta Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia. Everybody's talking about it. The press conferences, the weigh-in, it's all over, guys. I mean, it's time. They are fighting this weekend, and I cannot be any more excited to see it.
Davis, a big favorite.
It's been so much trash talking. This is one of those fights you want to see, man. My main man, Tank. I'm a huge Tank fan, man. He is from Baltimore, Maryland. He is a heavy favorite.
Heavy. Look at this.
But I will say this: Ryan Garcia does have a punching chance. I think every fighter has a punching chance, man. So he could slip one in there. I haven't seen a lot of people give Tank. Pitbull. I think he gave him Leo Santa Cruz before he got knocked out, and that's why I was talking to somebody the other day. Like, Tank is one of those guys that'll let you get in there. He'll let you scrap, and he'll go back and forth with you for the first 3 or 4 rounds, right? Until he figures you out.
Yep.
And Garcia very well could win every other round, right? But the thing about Tank is he got concrete lead. His hand is heavy.
Yep.
And if he gets a hold of Garcia, this one hit,
Good night.
that's it, man. That's all it takes. So, and I think Garcia is a very talented guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I will say this, man. I watched Ryan Garcia fight, right?
Yep.
I've seen him fight. I've seen a ton of his fights, right? And so when I look at, because I was talking, one of the kids on the team were talking to me, and I was like, Coach, what do you think? I'm like, man, who are you going for? Well, I'm a Tank fan, guys, but I'm smart enough to know that Garcia's quick, his hand speed, he's got great feet. He's one of the up and coming fighters. He is a Instagram phenom. Like they love him. You know what I'm saying? On Instagram. Like he's got a ton of guys. I mean a ton of what do you call it? Followers, man. So I mean he's one of those Instagram boxers, I would say. So when I look at Garcia, right, and the last few fights he's had, I think about one fight, and I was explaining to the kid on the team. He was like, why do you think that?" And I said, I'll tell you exactly why I think that. January the 2nd, 2021, he fought Luke Campbell. Luke Campbell was at the time, I believe, a WC interim world light champ. Campbell put him down in round 2. And I mean, I know this because I was watching a fight at a cigar bar with some people, with some friends. Actually, they were some guys that were on the show with me at the time. And specifically, we were there to watch the Garcia fight. Because Luke Campbell was good. He was good. He's one of those British guys. He can put. He's very tough competitor. I was like, hey, this might be the one where this kid gets beat, right? Well, not so much. He Garcia gets up, he finishes him off, I believe, in the 7th. But I mean, he knocked him down. It was clean shot. Chin is not there. All right. Let me tell you something. Luke Campbell is not half of the man that Tank Davis is. So my answer to that particular person that asked me was, hey man, he got put on the canvas by Luke Campbell. I ain't never seen Tank get put on the canvas by anybody. Not saying that it can't happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that that's my answer for it. Like, I don't see it happening because he hadn't been put down. He had a hell of a fight against Leo Santa Cruz. He had a couple stumbles. He got hit. He's a boxer, So those guys are it's how you react. It's how you come back. And I just don't think that, and I could be wrong. Garcia can come in here and give Tank everything and then knock him out.
Not gonna happen, no.
And you can put some money on it, and you could be like, "Hey, I won $8,000."
I mean, he's the one to bet. Hey, he's the one to throw money on, but
Yeah.
it ain't gonna happen though.
I just look at Tank, and I've watched Tank fight so much that it's like I'm telling you, I've seen this kid, but I've also seen Garcia fight. I've watched both of them fight, and I've seen Garcia go down, and I have not seen Tank go down.
The over under on the rounds is 7.5. What do you think?
I'd take that, man.
I'd take under 7.5 rounds.
I think he definitely needs 5 to figure him out.
Yep. I think he gets him in the 6th.
That's 6 is the round. I would say 6 is the round, man. But I'm sorry, I had to talk about boxing because that's one of the most exciting fights that's out right now.
I'm a fan.
I might hit you up.
Hit me up. We'll go throw some money on it. Watch the fight at the casino or something. Was it
hit
Saturday
you up.
night?
It's Saturday night. We'll be back. Man. We'll definitely be back early enough for me to get in here and try to see the fight, man. But
that's what we need to do. All these pay-per-view events. Go to the casino and watch it.
Yeah, man. I was telling you that, man. Next up is the NFL, man. We gotta talk some NFL, man.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Like I was looking and I seen that a couple of who just got paid the other day.
Really?
Who got paid?
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts got paid, right?
Jalen Hurts.
And I heard they offered $200 million to Lamar Jackson. Have we found out if that was true or not?
I have not. What's this 150 for Rodgers? signed back with Green Bay again.
I seen you sent me that message. I was like,
I thought he was
thought he was going to the
Jets,
Jets, man. Yeah.
Jets, man.
it's so much trash. It's so much lying.
He's a
going
drama
on, man.
queen.
That's what I'm saying. So much lying going on in the NFL, man.
If he goes back to Green Bay, he's such a drama queen.
I hate him.
Rodgers,
I do, man.
Then
I think it's time for him to retire, man. I think it's time for him to retire.
It's time for Chicago and Detroit, Minnesota to put him on his back.
Time for him to retire, man. Somebody's got to retire. He's got. I hate to see guys that are past their prime still play. Like I was happy to see Brady I was happy to hear that Brady had retired because I was ready for Brady to retire, man.
Not me.
You know, that's like watching. I mean, I'm switching back over to boxing. That's like watching Tyson pass his prime, man. You don't want to see that, man.
No.
You know, like there's a lot of boxers that just don't know how to go out.
Tyson was so good in his prime.
You know, like I look at, Ali and a lot of these other guys. Like, I think the perfect person, and people hate the fact that I'm about to say what I'm going to say, but I believe Floyd Mayweather left on his own fruition, man. Like he left on his own.
Smart.
He left when he wanted to leave, and he, to me, continues to be one of the greatest boxers of all time. That's just my thought. Just the way his defense, but he left at a time where he could leave, and he understood that I need to back out because
you said I'll agree with you. You said one of.
Yeah.
You said one of. I will agree with that.
Yeah, he is. He's one of.
He's one of.
Yeah, he to me, he's my GOAT.
Not me.
You know what I'm saying?
You know who mine is?
I'm 40 years old, and he's absolute. I believe he's the best boxer of my time. I can't say anybody else's time, but he's the best boxer of my time.
We gotta talk about that.
Yeah. Oh man, we can talk about it.
No, hold on. Hold on.
Like,
I just wanted to give you curious. Who do you think mine is?
I don't know, man.
Iron Mike, man.
Mike didn't know when to walk away, man.
True. I'm talking about Iron Mike in his prime.
In his prime, he's
the best boxer of our lifetime.
In his prime, he was the best.
But you're right. He didn't get out when he needed to get out.
When he wanted to, and I seen him take a beating.
Now, when it comes to Floyd, I will give him that.
A beating. I've seen people beat Tyson that should not have beat Tyson, is what I'm saying.
But I've seen Tyson.
I'm not talking about just Evander. I'm talking about there were some other names in there that beat Tyson that was like, there's no way in hell he should be beating Tyson. The thing that stands out to me about Floyd, even when Floyd was on his downslope where you knew he was getting ready to retire, you could not touch Floyd.
Yeah.
There was not a boxer that could touch him. They put a young Canelo Alvarez in there with Floyd, and Floyd put on a boxing clinic, you all. Go back and look at the tape. A boxing clinic. Canelo is right now, people were saying he's one of the best boxers. He couldn't touch Floyd, man. He couldn't touch him.
Maybe I stand corrected.
You know what I'm saying? Like he couldn't see his draws. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm telling you, like, and it's one of those things that like people talk to me about, and reason why people don't like Floyd is because of his attitude. He's cocky.
I like his cockiness.
He's arrogant. He talks a lot of trash. He floats his money. He flaunts his money around.
He's a fighter.
But he's a fighter, guys. That's what he does. He's an entertainer. He entertains. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell me that this man is at home just talking to his kids about his money. No, he is enjoying the fruits of his labor. He's enjoying having his promotion company. He's putting boxers on. He put Tank on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he's making money. He's fighting exhibitions. He's still pulling 50 to 100 mil for exhibition fights right now.
Laughing all the way to the bank.
Laughing all the way to the bank. Mm-hmm. People that don't like him are like, man, Floyd's broke and he ain't got no money. Let me tell you something about Floyd Money Mayweather.
He's got money.
That man has money, man. As much as people think he's broke, he is not broke. Does he spend money? Yes, he does, but he gets it back.
See his watches. He opened a bag one day. His watches, like a suitcase or whatever.
I'm telling y'all, he makes money and he has steady income. Assets, my man. Whether it's strip clubs, whether it's boxing gyms around the world. You know what I'm saying? He's got his hand in a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, people just don't like him. But when you talk about boxing, straight up boxing, you're talking about boxing legends, and you're talking about people that say who's the greatest of all time, you got to put Floyd Mayweather up.
He's in the talk.
You gotta talk about him. You gotta say his name because his defense was stellar. And his offense played off his defense. That's the reason why he was knotting up Canelo the way he was. Because even though he was dodging Canelo, he still was countering the shit out of him. You know what I'm saying? And to me, it was funny. I was watching, I was just like, dude, if anybody's watching this, there's nobody that can't say he's not killing it right now. You know, there's only one guy that I feel like right now is kind of in shadow. I think that Devin Haney is like almost an imprint of who Mayweather is. But nah, just going back to football, man.
We have a final 103-93 Memphis over the Lakers.
Yeah. So I mean, just going back to the football, man. I just feel like I hate to see Lamar not getting his money, man.
Oh, Baltimore doesn't want to pay him.
I feel like it's gonna happen. I was reading this article that came out today. Tua Tagovailoa admits that he considered retiring after a difficult 2022 season. It sucks to see that, man.
Yep.
It's because you know how hard he's worked to get there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And his injuries, man. Everybody. I don't know. I hate to see that, man. You know. So but just looking at so much stuff going on. Joe Mixon pleads not guilty to his charges.
A little menacing.
Yeah,
alleged.
Yeah, I mean, a ton of stuff going around. Who's one of the best quarterbacks coming out of the draft? People keep talking about this kid from Florida.
I'm telling you about. Let me tell you something. Hey, listen to this. Hold on. I may shock you. Let's talk about this kid out of Lexington.
They don't want to talk about
Will Levis. Yo,
they don't want to talk about that, man.
I think he's gonna be higher than what they're saying.
They don't want to talk about Will the Thrill.
They got Richardson going before him. I don't agree with that.
All jokes aside, me being a Kentucky fan, I think that Will Levis's arm talent is above just about everybody in draft except for one or two guys. I think he's just about the best arm in the draft.
He's got the strongest arm in the draft.
I just feel like there's accuracy wise, there's probably another quarterback a little more accurate than him. But when you talk about the stature, you talk about the arm strength and arm power, there's nobody better than Will, and that's just in my eyes.
You know what? Had the Rams not took Liam Cohen, and you had a good offensive line,
they're taking. He would
have been first overall pick.
Cohen, there's no way he would.
I'm just telling you right now.
I
say he goes to the Raiders at 7.
That'd be nice. I'm looking at the 49ers receiving trade calls for Trey Lance. I assume they get ready to. Have they already named Purdy the starter over there?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Why would you trade Trey Lance though? Why wouldn't you want to keep him?
Because the value.
Who's gonna be the backup though?
Where do they pick?
I don't know, man. That's why I'm just like I don't.
Look at the new. Look, I was going to say 5-year 255. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, you talking about Hurt?
That's
a tremendous amount of money, and I'm happy to get it, man.
Highest paid.
Happy to get it, but on the back end, you know who's making more money than him?
Nobody.
Look it up, man. If I was reading an article, numbers wise, guaranteed money. There's one quarterback that's making more money than Hurt. Nobody just has talked about. I was reading an article today.
Guaranteed money.
Deshaun
Watson.
Yes. he's still
guaranteed.
Yeah,
like, yeah, okay.
He's still getting paid out here. You
hear the 255 and you're like, oh, highest paid.
Yeah, everybody sees that, but like I was looking at this article. I don't know what website it was on. I don't know if it was on NFL. It was Rappaport did a write up, and he was just like, yeah, Jalen Hurts is the highest paid, but he is not. The person that is actually getting paid the most would be Deshaun.
If Jim Irsay's smart, he'll pick Levis at 4.
Well, that's where they're saying he's going to go.
I've seen Anthony Richardson at 4.
He might end up with the Raiders. You're right. Yeah, now that I see that, he might end up with the Raiders.
Because Detroit, they're not going away from Goff. Seattle, Geno.
I don't know, man. Seattle. If I was Seattle, I don't.
You pick him up.
You need a quarterback of the future, and I don't think Geno is the quarterback of the future. It gives time for Will to sit for a year or two.
I know this year is going to be probably Stroud.
That's definitely Stroud.
This year is going to be.
I don't know.
Bryce Young. Bryce Young's going to Houston. Arizona don't need a
They
quarterback.
don't need a quarterback.
Indy does.
Yeah.
So then you got Anthony Richardson, right, out of Florida.
Yeah.
And then you got Will Levis. Seattle technically doesn't. Detroit doesn't.
Technically, but it's still a possibility.
True. Vegas needs one
You're supposed to take the best athlete, the best player
Available.
available.
Correct.
If the best player available, if I'm taking the best player available, I'm taking.
If I'm Carolina, I'm throwing it all in the mess. I'm taking Levis number 1.
Well, I'm talking about
That's
Indianapolis in Seattle.
No.
I'm looking at they're gonna, man, they have already. I think the top 2 picks are already done.
probably.
That's why I'm not. That's why I'm not even saying Levis. If
Poor
it
Bryce.
is, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's either Bryce.
Going to Houston.
You
Poor
already
Bryce.
know. You already know. Man.
Racist football team.
Well, I mean, I don't want
Ownership.
Yeah.
Ownership is. Come on now.
I just
That's Deshaun Watson.
I just feel like CJ Stroud and Bryce are the 1-2. Either or.
That's-
Whoever Carolina picks, if they pick Shroud, it's Shroud. If they pick, you don't know who it is.
they're going to be 1-2.
That's what I'm saying. You don't know if Carolina might flip it on you and they might go Bryce.
I doubt that.
I'm just saying.
I seriously doubt it. I would love to see that because I don't want Bryce Young in Houston. I want Houston.
I wouldn't want to see that either.
I want Houston to get now since the Redskins got sold. It's time for the Texans.
The Commanders.
Well, my bad, Commanders. I'm sorry. All right, so since the Commanders got sold, it's time for the Texans to get sold. Terrible family. Terrible. Oh yeah, they're bad people. But I think Levis should go for it, Indianapolis. That's my pick.
I would think that he does.
In all
That's
actuality,
me.
I think he's going to 7 to Vegas.
Vegas. I would like to see him in Vegas because I'm going to go to Vegas and I think I'll get a chance to see him.
You know who would be more than excited to see them picked by Vegas?
Who's that?
Jason Thompson.
Probably would.
Shout out Jason. Yep, he's a
Right.
big Raiders fan.
I'm definitely going to going to be a Raiders fan if he goes there.
Well, he's going there or Indy. And so look, if Indy wants to,
I think next year is
Ursay wants to sell tickets.
I think next year is Cleveland's year, man. I'll be honest with you. I feel like Cleveland's gonna have a great season next year.
If Ursay wants to sell tickets, there's a big fan base of Kentucky people down here that just across the river.
It's true.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I like Levis. He's a great quarterback, and if anybody that would be lucky to pick him up because he's an NFL quarterback.
He is,
Watching him in
man.
college, man.
He sells it too, man.
Like
Like
the first time he went under center at Kentucky,
Nah.
I was like, there is what Kentucky
That's
needed,
it, man.
right there, quarterback.
we need somebody to sling the ball, man. He legit brung back air raid soon as he started when he got there, and he's tough as nails, man.
And he eats banana peels. Who does
He's
that?
He puts mayonnaise in his coffee. I don't know.
Oh,
shit
who
why.
does that?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, you want to hear? You want to hear the draft order? The top 10.
Yeah, who's that?
Top 10: Carolina, Houston, Arizona. Indy's at 4. Seattle, Detroit, Vegas is 7, and Atlanta, Chicago, and Philly. Philly being up there at number 10.
Makes sense.
I'd get me a big defensive lineman or a big offensive lineman to protect my $255 million quarterback.
Hey, ton of sports. So the news we have: a Louisville mass shooting victim had just moved to the city 2 weeks earlier before the bank shooting.
One of the victims there
Yeah,
was from E-Town.
yeah, I heard.
He was friends
the
with.
cop. Was the cop from this area?
I don't know that, but
Oh.
the president of the bank was killed. He was friends with the governor
That's crazy.
from
Yeah.
E-Town High School.
I-
Well, he
and-
graduated 1977.
And then I want to talk both that and then 2 teens face murder charges for a Sweet 16 party massacre that left 4 dead and 32 injured in Alabama.
Mm.
Just looking at this bank shooting and then looking at this party massacre, like, dude, I know we've talked about this on multiple times about gun control and different things like that, but
I don't think there's a way to.
I don't.
control guns, man.
At this particular point in time, I don't think there's a way to slow this down, man. I don't know if I'm being a Debbie Downer.
No,
I don't think that
You're thinking logically.
you because behind the background checks, I think they're doing the background checks correctly. It's
Yep.
just you can get a gun anywhere, man.
Hey, criminals are going to criminal. You know what I mean? If you
I feel
got
like you can
intent,
I feel like you can get a gun as of right now. I feel like you can get a gun anywhere.
yeah.
And that's the reason why we have so many.
You know, people leave them in a car.
Yeah, so it's just like gun reform, man. Like when people talk about gun reform, it's hard for me to discuss gun reform because nobody wants to give up their guns in this country.
Yeah.
You know, they got a right to bear arms, so everybody's bearing arms right now.
Yeah.
But when you have a right to bear arms and everybody's bearing arms,
Things like this happen.
You get the Louisville mass shooting, you get the 2 teens facing murder charges for the Sweet 16 party massacre. I mean, just looking at that,
it's a gamble, and you
just
know
looking
the
at
house
the-
wins
yeah,
sometimes. You know what I mean?
Just looking at the headlines: 2 teens facing murder charges for Sweet 16 party massacre.
Terrible.
I got an 8-year-old daughter, man. It's like, dude, is this what I have to look forward to when my daughter wants to go? When she gets 16 and she goes to a Sweet 16, am I have to worry about a Sweet 16 party massacre?
What's a 20-year-old doing at a Sweet 16 party though?
Maybe it was his cousin or his.
I'm just.
I mean, I don't. Yeah, you're right though.
I mean, you're 20. You're 20 years old, dude.
Yeah, I don't understand it, man. I mean, I was talking to I'm not going to say who I was talking to. I was having a conversation with someone, and we were talking about kids and how we grew up and how these kids are growing up now. And it is light years different on all fronts.
Yeah.
Even when you're talking about some of these teachers getting in fights with kids at school. I was looking at some, I don't get on TikTok or anything like that, but every once in a while, something will pop up in my Instagram feed that's on TikTok or something like that.
Yep.
And there was a teacher, a kid like just rolled up on this teacher and just starts swinging on the teacher. And then, of course, the teacher starts swinging back. But in all the comments, people were like, how dare that teacher? And I'm thinking,
how dare the teacher protect him or herself?
In my head,
right?
It's like, this kid was throwing. For at first, he wasn't hitting the kid, but the kid was like lighting him up, like tap tap tap, like
he should have defended.
And then all of a sudden, something clicked in this teacher, man, and he started whooping that kid's ass.
Well, the kid got what he got.
And it's just like everybody in the comments, and there was one person in the comments like, you know what, I'm getting ready to log out the computer because I can't believe there's so many people that are taking up for this kid. This is a high school kid who's 17 years old.
Do grown up shit.
The teacher told him to sit down or do something, and he's not listening. He gets in his face and then hits him with 3-piece with extra yams and a biscuit and almost lays the teacher out. The teacher gets his bearings together and commenced to whooping this kid's ass, and everybody's talking about the teacher needs to be fired.
No.
Is the teacher supposed to just roll and just you want the teacher just to curl up and just take all the hits?
Well, shout out to the teacher. You did the right thing, man.
And I was looking at another one today. Actually, this one was kind of funny, man. So he had put the girl out of the classroom.
Where did this happen at?
I seen this. It was on Instagram, but it was on TikTok. And
sorry, go ahead.
He told the young lady to stay outside because the class was already in session. She was outside talking to some boy. And then she tried to come in. He said, no, stay out of my class. You know what I'm saying? And she tries to open the door. He says no. So he closes the door. The girl opens the door and he belly bumps the girl. Like instead of like him pushing her, he just put his belly outside the door.
Yeah.
And belly bumps the girl. She totally flops on the ground. It's an NBA flop, man. Like she flops like. And then everybody in the comments was like, well, he's getting fired. I'm just like, what was the man supposed to do, man?
Wow.
Like, if the person's being disruptive, and I get it. I was looking in the comments and people were like, if that was these other people's kids, they wouldn't want some teacher belly bumping. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm pretty sure, but how did we get to this particular point? if he's told her already to stay outside and she's not listening, how do we get here? So I'm looking at these murder charges and these shootings, and it's like, man, somewhere down the line, parenting has gone down.
Yep.
The is going out the window.
Well, there's no accountability.
There was one person in the comments was like, man, every time I see one of these, I just think when people are like, well, it's the teacher's fault or it's this person's fault. And it's like, no, it's the parents' fault. It starts at home. And if and the person was comment was like, if the people at home are not telling this particular child how to conduct themselves, if the parent tells them to do something and they ignore it, then it's the parent.
Yep.
The reason why your kid is acting silly out here is because you can't get a hold of your parent. Like right now, you can't get a hold of your kid. Like with Zoe, I do not play with Zoe. People might think that maybe I'm too hard on Zoe. I don't care.
First of all, ain't none of their business.
Yeah, I don't care if you think I'm too hard on my daughter, man. I literally don't, man. I'm gonna make sure she does what she's supposed to do and do it at the right time she's supposed to do it. Whether it's talking to her grandparents or whether it's talking to me, she's gonna talk or her teacher. She's gonna talk to people with respect, and she's not gonna be at school doing stuff she's not supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
And if she does, then she's gonna get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? And there's not one teacher that can tell me how to raise my child.
Nope.
And me being a coach, man, it literally has put me in a position to see how people have raised their kid. And it is hard now to coach because some kids are not coachable. It's because they think they're entitled. They don't have to listen to you. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be like, and they have a problem with discipline. If I say, hey, go grab that water bottle or go grab this thing and put some water and some ice, and you get an attitude because I told you to do it, dude, you're on the team. Go get some. I'm not the manager. I don't care if our managers suck. I don't care if you know what I'm saying. If
y'all have managers,
man, I ain't seen a manager in weeks, but I don't care. Like we we're a team. We need to all do this together.
Sure.
Go grab that water cooler. Let's get some water. Let's get some ice. Otherwise, you guys are gonna be going get water from all the way from the trainer. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I think that's one of the main reasons that a lot of this stuff happens, man. I'm sorry, maybe I'm yapping, but
No,
hey,
good.
one of the last things I want to talk about was this Jefferson's bourbon release of the luxury blend.
See, I'd skip that one on purpose.
That honored.
I'm not a bourbon guy.
The female bootlegger. I want to try this
because I wanted to hear I wanted to not read it because I wanted to hear you tell the story because it's how much I don't really care for bourbon, but you love it. You're passionate about it. So I wanted to hear your take.
I'm drinking bourbon right now, man.
I know, I smell it.
Hey man, I am a bourbon connoisseur, man. When I read this article, it was talking about the Jefferson whiskey and how they were talking about who co-founded the company, and they were talking about where the company owner was born. He was born in Louisville, of course, in 1941, near the Yellowstone, Seagram's Hill and Switchler Weller distilleries. I am excited about this, man. Every time I see a new bourbon come out, it's like the history of the bourbon is what it really is about. Remember when I first talked about Burr Brothers?
Yep.
And we talked about there was the first African American owned distillery in Louisville.
Yep.
And then we talked about
in the state, wasn't it?
Yeah, in the state. And we talked about what was the other bourbon we talked about? I forget the other one. But it
was the one from here?
It is
bourbon barrel or whatever.
Nah, so basically there was a story behind this bourbon. They actually the slave that was helping make the bourbon, they found a recipe. So basically, I had to go back and see who it was. And we talked about that bourbon too, and it was bought by an actor, and he's bringing it back, and it's actually really good. Man, it escapes me right now. I don't know, but we drunk it multiple times on the pod when we were doing it at Basham Spot. But basically, this bourbon is one of the earliest documented female from one of the earliest documented female bootleggers and whiskey runners in history.
Really?
Yeah, so it's actually from a book in 2013, Whiskey Women and the Untold Story of How a Woman Saved Bourbon, Scotch, and Irish Whiskey. She was actually arrested in 1799 in Georgia for distilling. At the time, she was doing it because she needed to support her 5 children and her husband, Angus, who died in the Revolutionary War. And on her, the brand is doing a 25-year anniversary. Jefferson recently released a launch of the Marion McLean Expression, which is a blend of 5 different bourbons, each component representing one of her 5 children.
Nice.
Here's the thing.
Is it going to be only available in Georgia?
This plan is for the McLean release. It's unique, and it will be released at about $300 a bottle.
Too pricey for me.
It's a 14-year-old Tennessee bourbon with a citrus nose and banana notes and peppery finish. Guys, I gotta get a part. I gotta be a part of this, man. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I gotta get a swig of this, man. Somebody's gotta help me out. Tell me, just I need to taste it. I just need to taste it. I just want to be a part of it. That's all. You know?
I can't do the bourbon, man.
But this is like I said, Marion McLean. I really want to see if I can get a taste, man. But I'm really excited about it. It's one of those bourbons that you need to taste. Has there been a bourbon that you really that you just didn't like? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Huh?
Really?
Yeah.
Someone that just really isn't.
Wild Turkey 101.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
Very old Barton. Yuck.
I don't know. Certain bourbons are pretty good. I mean, certain ones are pretty good.
The one I really enjoyed. Well, there's a couple. And look, I throw a lot of shade at bourbon, but you know what? Hey, I don't drink it because I like it. Okay, I that's a personal thing. I used to drink a lot of it, too much actually. That's why I joined the military, to get disciplined.
Hey man, that's not
So
bad.
I quit drinking. I quit drinking whiskey. You know, I put back a fifth a night, man.
Yeah.
It was bad. But anyhow, I liked Booker's
Okay.
1792 Bullet.
Really is good.
Yeah. Woodford Reserve.
I love Woodford Reserve.
And you're going to Tennessee whiskeys. I like single barrel. Jack. You know. That was my go-tos. Jim Beam had a good 12-year. I used to drink it a lot too.
Yeah, there's not too many.
That's why I don't drink. There's a backstory to it.
Oh no, I understand. You know, I understand, man. I just, there's not too many joints that I really enjoy a good bourbon.
I'd much rather have tequila.
I don't know, man. I'm not a big. I do like tequila.
Straight too.
Well, you know I like tequila, so I mean,
I drink it straight though. I don't chase it with the lime and salt.
so I like what is it? I'm trying to think of the name of that one bourbon, man. So I like Rabbit Hole.
Yeah.
I can go with Rabbit Hole. The Bardstown Bourbon Company puts out really good bourbon, like extremely good bourbon. And so I like the Bardstown. I like the joint. Eagle Rare Bourbon. I'm a fan of. I'm looking some drinks up right now. I'm trying to see if I can find. I'm drinking Buffalo Trace right now.
Buffalo Trace, that's good.
Yeah, I'm an actual fan of Buffalo Trace. So if you can't go wrong with Buffalo Trace, you can't go wrong with Woodford Reserve, like you said.
Yeah. I like Knob Creek Rye though.
Yeah,
Do you like the rye whiskey? I
That's
like a rye.
pretty
I
good.
like a rye whiskey.
like you said, Bullet. You're right on the lines. You got some good stuff, man. You were talking some good stuff,
My
man.
palate's pretty good when it comes to bourbon.
Blandness. I like blandness.
Blends,
man.
yeah.
That's a high class. I think that's one of those bourbons that are really good.
I think we have a pretty similar palate when it comes to bourbon. It's just I don't consume it.
Yeah, man, I have to, man. It's like a part of my daily diet. Nah, I'm joking. I'm not.
But you know, hey, Evan Williams. I mean,
I'm not a huge Evan Williams guy.
I was in
man.
high school. Let me tell you.
Oh, Gentleman's Jack. I forgot about Gentleman's Jack.
Gentleman's Jack, yeah.
I like Gentleman's Jack. Man, I wish I had the name of that
I
one
like some
bourbon. I can't.
I like some good Canadian whiskey, good Crown.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with a little Crown.
I like a little Crown of Coke.
Yeah, I might need to throw some company. But yeah, man, but I can't remember the name of that, but Rabbit Hole. I'm a huge fan of the Rabbit Hole bourbon. So, but hey, guys, we don't take up too much of your time, man. Before we get out of here, I definitely want to say today a day of hip hop. We came in, we don't own the rights to the music. We came in, so the reason why we came into Illmatic. Nas's album Illmatic was released on April the 19th, 1994. Today a day of hip hop. Keith Elam, better known as Guru, died April 19th, 2010. RIP to Guru. So also Mike Jones released his album Who is Mike Jones April 19th, 2005. And it's a history, ain't it? How long has it been since you listened to Mike Jones, man?
Long time.
It's been a long time since I really dug into. I might play some Mike Jones on the way out of here, man. Keep people honest, man. But
today is the 28th anniversary of the Oklahoma City bombing.
Really?
Yep.
Man, I would have never known that, man.
Which I mean, today's the 30th anniversary of Waco.
Man, that's crazy.
Yep. Let's see. I'm pretty sure David Koresh, April 19th, 19. Yeah, today's the 30th anniversary of the Mount Carmel Center burning up, as you see it on TV.
Yeah.
In Waco, Texas, the 30th anniversary of that, the 28th anniversary of Oklahoma City bombing.
Yeah.
Oh, but today is National Banana Day. I saw that. See, it showed me right here on that. It was National OKC. Today's National Poker Day.
Yeah, I need to buy you a couple hands.
Today is Sylvester the Cat's birthday.
Happy birthday, Sylvester.
That's right.
Sly.
Today is Hayden Christensen's birthday.
I know who that is.
He played Darth Vader. Well, Anakin Skywalker.
What?
What? Star Wars? What? You have to watch some Star Wars. Let's see. Kate Hudson's birthday.
Happy birthday, Kate. She's still out here looking good.
Yeah, she is. Let's see. Youth Homelessness Matters Day is today. What else is there? National North Dakota Day.
Keep that day.
National Dog Parent Appreciation
National
Day.
Cat Lady Day.
Yep.
That's crazy. That's Zoe's day.
National Amaretto Day. But that's about it. National Garlic Day.
Yeah, keep that to yourself.
Yeah, that's right. That's about all it for today.
I want to shout out to our affiliates, Trackstar DJ. Shout out to our main man, DJ Tony D. If you guys need any entertainment, hit up DJ Tony D at trackstardjs@gmail.com. That's Trackstars with the S, DJs with the S @gmail.com. Email us at the hospitality room, the number 4, the letter U @gmail.com. On Twitter at Room Hospitality. On Instagram at the Hospitality Room. On Facebook, please hit us up at the Hospitality Room. If you guys want to hear us talk about something, or interested in hearing us talk, or you have a comment about the show, please hit us up on any one of our platforms. Like our platform, like where we're coming from, whether it's Apple, iHeart, Google Podcasts. Where else are we on, man? Man, I don't know. Spotify. I think we're pretty much on all platforms.
Yeah.
Please hit us up. Hit us up in the comments on Instagram. And please get back to us. And that's always love, peace, and hospitality. Everybody have a lovely night. We don't own the rights to this song going out. But I'm always still tipping. Y'all have a good night, all right?
Have a good week, everybody.
Tipping on Bobos, wrapped in Bobos, pimping Bobos, and I'm packing Bobos. I'm still tipping on Bobos, wrapped in Bobos, tipping on Bobos, wrapped in Bobos, tipping on Bobos, wrapped in Bobos, pimping Bobos, and I'm packing Bobos.
Now look who creeping, look who crawling, still ballin' in the mix. It's that 6'6" long dick slim nigga sticking your chick, pulling tricks, looking slick at all times when I'm flipping, bar sipping, car dipping, Grant Wood grain gripping, still tipping on fofos, wrapped in fofos, pimping fofos, and no packings, flowing on that endo, GameCube Nintendo, 5% tint, so you can't see up in my window. These niggas don't understand me, cause I'm boss hog on candy, top down at Maxis with a big Glock 9 handy.